All right, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Thank you, everybody who's been watching these past two episodes. So we're glad for all the feedback you've been giving. So this is Lex and Emery. We still working on the name show, working on a new name for the show. So we'll just get to it on what we saw on the NFL this week. This week's NFL was outstanding. A lot of tight games, a lot of good games, a lot of great battles this week. But nothing may have gotten more talked about than that Cowboys and Seattle game. That was a game of all games. So let me tell you this. So when I got on the game, when I came and watched it, the first play I saw was the was a DK Metcalf almost touchdown where the rookie smacked it right out of his hand into a touchback. I was like, so I come in, I'm watching the game. I was like, oh, Seattle killing. And as soon as I turned, I was like, oh, this is about to get ugly. And then bop, I was dying laughing when I saw that, man. I was like, DK's been in the league. Is this his third year or second year?
Second year.
Second year, but he should still know. He should still know. That's some. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. When I saw that, I
I
mean, he
mean,
made it up at the end for having the game-winning touchdown, but
yeah.
even that,
I mean, he's all right. Like, yeah, it was a dumb decision, but you know, whatever. He'll be fine. I remember seeing all of it, and I was like, wow. And the fact that it didn't cost them
yeah,
anything,
hmm
like that just shows when you could do dumb stuff and like you be alright. And it's isn't
yeah,
it so weird that that team. All right, like when we talk about like receivers, I talk about all the time like who the receivers, who the receivers, who the receivers.
mm,
Like how they always they say what's the phrase they say? Russ be cooking, or let Russ cook. Let
yeah.
Russ cook. Like that team went from like I had no idea who their receivers were to actually I swear to God I have no idea who their receivers were. I have no idea who their receivers were. I still don't know. The only real name on that team is like DK Metcalf, all because like he came off with a shirt and whatever.
Yeah, he came in. He became. He was Jim Golds.
And then now it's like him, and so he's the man. But actually, I can't even tell who's the number one receiver on that whole squad, which is
It's
blowing my
Metcalf.
mind.
It's Metcalf.
No, it's Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett had 3 touchdowns yesterday.
No, that's because
Metcalf is the
no,
biggest name.
Metcalf would have had two at least if he didn't
Yeah,
talk.
but Metcalf is the bigger name. Like,
Mhm,
and he's the draw. He's like the
mhm.
Des Bryant, but he's not pulling Des Bryant numbers. So like, anyway,
He's the big catch receiver. If you want, if you want, like, remember when New England had Randy Moss and Wes Welker? Randy Moss was the big name receiver, but when you look at the numbers, Wes Welker had more catches.
that's
Same
what I'm
thing
saying.
with
Like,
DK Metcalf.
but
Like
that's what I'm
DK
saying. Look,
Metcalf is, you want the big draw catch, he's going to be the one for that. Wilson, Luckett, he's going to get you all that other stuff. But Metcalf is their big main receiver. And quiet as kept, I'm waiting to see that tight end of theirs.
Greg
He's
Olsen.
Greg Olson. He's slowly coming in. Like he's not as doing as crazy as he was in Carolina, but he's still putting in respectable numbers.
I mean, no, he put up 61 yards yesterday. So I mean, this is the first time in a long time, and I'm looking online now.
Mhm.
This is the first time in a long time that I actually respect. I mean, I know Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson did like just numbers. Like he would just he threw to whoever.
Mhm.
I'm really trying to find who the heck the team is. All right, there we go. All right, what's Russell Wilson? No lie, is the second coming of Drew Brees because like remember that year like Drew Brees was like the man. He was 5,000 yards,
Mhm.
35 touchdowns. You might know the receivers' names, but none of them was important. Like you'd be stupid to draft one receiver for Drew Brees because it's like it'd be Gerald Henderson, I think that was his name,
Mhm.
or this week, or it'd be Marcus Colston that week. It'd be like, but this year is like the first year because I'm looking at the team right now. This year is never mind. This year is like the first year when I'm like, yo,
Mhm.
this team is like solid. You know what I'm saying? Like their receiving core is solid because you look
Mhm.
back at the day they had All right, when they won the Super Bowl, it was actually a pretty decent receiving core. Doug Baldwin, Percy Harvin, haven't seen him in a while.
Mhm.
Zach
I don't
Miller,
think he's in
both
the
team.
league.
Who, Percy Harvin?
Yeah, I think he's a free agent.
Nah, he ain't even less than a free agent. He's like he should just retire like mentally. I mean, he had issues with migraines.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and if someone would get migraines, I was like, that's kind of funny to me, but whatever. Um, Yeah, so I mean, it's just he's just killing them. I mean, it's scary. But
Mhm.
now he has like Greg Olson. Now he has a solid tight end. He has two people on the he has two people on the east side, and
But
I guess somebody in the
who was
inside.
it they had? Was it last season or 2 seasons ago? They had Jimmy Graham and they just couldn't work with him. They
Jimmy
couldn't use
Graham.
him.
I don't play sports, but I can play sports if I guess put my life towards it. But like I think I think Jimmy Graham, Julius Thomas, they one of them players that they only was good with certain quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like Jimmy Graham.
He's
Who
doing all
Jimmy
right
Graham?
this season now.
Who Jimmy Graham?
Jimmy Graham, yeah.
No, he's not. So you got I'm sorry. I just thinking about that. Like Jimmy Graham, Julius Thomas. Who's another tight end that was only good with this specific person? Gronk. Like put Gronk with anybody else, he ain't gonna be the same. So I don't know.
I kind of know. I wouldn't be Jason Witten.
Jason Witten can't play with anybody else. I mean,
Mm,
he
he did
could,
okay
but
with Dak, but I think he was better with Romo. But yeah, I could somewhat understand. We'll see if how Olsen does with. But so far, the thing about what I saw with Russell Wilson, you know what's crazy when you said that Drew Brees reference. I remember years ago in his rookie campaign, when he was rookie draft, it was one of the ESPN shows, and they'll say, "Why do we keep referencing black quarterbacks to another black quarterback? Russell Wilson is Drew Brees," and somebody said that, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, they're pretty much about the same height, but he's way more mobile though. But
is he though? They're the same. They're the
no, he's
same,
way
man.
more mobile than Drew Brees. Drew Brees have never been mobile. Like you could tell Russell Wilson ran for he ran for a couple of that game, so he'll get out the pocket and have to move if he has to move. Drew Brees, he's not move. I guess because of his age too, but I don't remember Drew Brees at the Chargers really being mobile.
He was pretty decent, but I that's
Mhm.
neither here nor there.
Yeah, so I felt bad kind of for Dak because Dak was putting in work. 57 throws. He threw the ball 57 times. So they completely abandoned Ezekiel Elliott, which I think is going to happen more and more this season. Um,
I don't feel bad for the Cowboys. I don't know why. I don't feel bad for the
and
Cowboys. I think
you would think me being a Giants fan, I would be like, screw. But I was like, yo, Dak was really putting in. He was doing heavy work. He was
I
doing
don't
a
feel
lot of heavy
I don't
lifting.
feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for Cowboys at all because they're losing to good teams. It's not like they're losing to trash squads. They're losing good games to really good teams, and it's like, well, sorry, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they're getting blown out. It's like they're up there, they're up there, up there. So I don't feel for them. I do. You know who I do worry about, and I gotta look in. I'm looking at him now. I do kind of worry about like Dak in a different sense. Like I worry about him on like he's like his whole mental
Yeah.
ability issue. Like I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. It's very important. But like you are showing that you were worth all the money that you wanted to get with the
Oh yeah.
numbers that you're putting up. Like so, in my mind, he's like, I don't know how to think about it. It's like I'm not one of those people who would think, yeah, man, just worry about yourself, worry about your numbers.
Mhm.
But like you are showing the league I deserve 35, $40 million. Like I deserve, like he deserves. No, I don't know if he deserves as much money as he deserves as much money as Mahomes, but he definitely I almost cursed. He definitely deserves as much money as Deshaun Watson. Yeah, Watson's
Yeah.
good and all, but like he ain't that good.
Yeah. I feel you. So let me get on to the next game. The Green Bay and the Saints game, which was must see TV. Again, that was another hot game. That was probably, I think that was probably the most promoted, like the biggest name draw game for the week before
You think?
the game started. I think before the game started, I think that was the hot game that everybody had their eyes on. It was like, oh, because we get Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. This was the playoff game we've been wanting from them two for years that we've never gotten. You have yet to get Green Bay and the Saints have never met in the playoffs that we always wanted. They always meet somebody else and they never met. So we finally got to see the Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees shootout that we wanted, and both offenses delivered. Both offenses delivered in the air attack. I mean, not not super big numbers from neither one of them. Surprisingly, nobody threw over 300 yards, which was shocking. but it was a lot of air and there was a lot of touchdowns. A lot of touchdowns. I think both of them, no interceptions from neither one of them. So this was about airing it out. Mm.
You know, I was 2 seconds away. So after watching the game, watching the stats, I care more about stats than about anything else. And so you're absolutely right. But after that game, I was like, yo, should I pick up that guy Alan Lazard, the running like the
You know
receiver
what?
on?
He's been quiet. And you talk about
He ain't been that
nobody
good.
wide receivers, but he's Aaron's best person.
Yo, I get real sick and tired.
You think
Real sick, I get real sick and tired of everybody saying, "Oh, we ain't help him. Oh, we ain't help him." We said this from the first episode. Like I don't know why people it just pisses me off. It's like so you are saying that if they drafted a quarterback, I mean a wide receiver in the first round, that you're saying it's a guarantee he will be a help. Now, how many first rounders have been bust? Like lots. I don't say thousands because that'd be a little bit
but yeah.
strong number. But like you're guaranteeing that. So like you're guaranteeing that a wide receiver this year in this 2019 2020 draft is going to be was going to be helpful. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going, oh yeah, that will be another weapon. Oh, it'd be fantastic. Like there's no guarantee about that. So why the heck do people saying, well, we'd have made them. They'd have been great. Let's look at this. Like, so you want to know who? I mean, this is the first year, so it's kind of tough to say. But you know
Mhm.
who the first round? I'd go through the wide receivers: Harry Ruggs, Jerry Rudy, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Rager, Justin Jefferson, who had a crazy game yesterday.
Mhm.
So I came in
Yeah.
front. My man had like 174
Mhm.
yards. Brandon Ayuk. Like, what? Come on now. It
Mhm.
just pisses me off. Like, yeah, he needed help. You go ahead, make your point. I'm gonna look back and see. I'm gonna look from last season, see who the wide receivers were, and see what they did. I just wanna look. And go ahead, make your point.
I was going to say on that, Aaron Rodgers is another quarterback who makes wide receivers. Like, because in all honesty, they've rotated a bunch. I can't even remember the last. Oh, I forgot. I remember his face, but I can't. I have his face, but I can't remember his name. The last good wide receiver from Green Bay. Um, what's his name? McDaniels. I know there was one wide receiver who left over from Favre who came who came over
Not
to
Greg
Rodgers.
Jennings. Greg Jennings,
Was it Greg Jennings?
Donald Brown. No,
Yeah, I
Donald
think
Driver.
Donna Driver. That's it. That's it.
What do you
That was,
mean? Wait. What? He was
Greg
the first
Jennings.
round.
No. I mean, like he was the last good wide receiver known for Green Bay. Like
Greg
because
Jennings, Donald Driver. Yo, Jordy Nelson was nice. Randall Cobb was decent. He makes receivers better. So
but
while
where
you're
all of them where well, outside of Donald Driver's retired, did Greg Jennings retire?
Yeah, he's pretty much done.
Or he's just done. I
All right,
haven't
brother.
heard
But
from I haven't heard from Randall Cobb. I haven't heard from all of them. They're gone. He made them do hot. He's made
yeah, Randall Cobb is still playing, and he's not doing anything.
yeah,
But
he's made them hot.
check
So
this out. Check this out. Let me go look. I'm looking at the wide receivers. I don't even know who they drafted. Green Bay last year, the Green Bay's they drafted no their first draft they picked up Rashard Henry, who's actually from I think East Orange, by the way. Um, Rashawn Henry. They picked up O line, offensive. No, wait, outside linebacker. So
mhm,
here the running. Here the wide receivers that came out last year. Marquise Hollywood Brown, not a bust,
no.
decent because he's fast. But as Aaron Rodgers likes to air it out, but he needs somebody who can get him like that five,
Mhm,
7 yards. So whatever. Nikhil Harry ain't doing nothing.
nothing.
Debo Samuel's hurt. He did all right
He
last
did
year.
I yeah, he did his thing.
AJ Brown, yeah, he
I
was good.
think I heard he just wait. I think Debo Sanders just got picked up by just got moved up from San Francisco to San Francisco because of the injuries they got. I think I just ran through that
Yeah,
before.
he's not. I don't think he's IR now. Now he's just out.
Hmm.
McCole Hartman, but he was on the Chiefs, so anybody on the Chiefs will easily pick him up. And then it gets really,
Slim.
really weak. And then you
Hmm.
got DK Metcalf.
Hmm.
But like, how many? Because the Packers are always so decent, they're focusing on the defense and they're focusing on their offensive line. I'm like, yo, I just get tired of hearing it, man. Like they be all
I
right.
just get tired of them. They are consistent 12-4 type team that falls apart in the playoffs. Same thing with the Saints. That's why, surprisingly, this is so shocking that they haven't met in the playoffs. Like they should be at least a conference finals or a, a conference, a division a semifinals, meeting each other. But they're always such a high seed. They never met together. So to see this game finally give you the game that they gave was amazing. And quiet as kept, I'm gonna start saying this. Drew Brees is showing me a lot of what Tom Brady was in New England. Too many checkdowns. Too many checkdowns. A lot of checkdowns in that game and last game too. I think last week he had like 14 straight checkdowns. I was like, yo, that's not something we're used to seeing from Drew Brees.
I mean, he's getting there. He's older.
Hmm.
He's tired. He's I think he's just somebody made it really Teddy Bruschi or somebody else. He was like he's just trying not to get hurt. He's just trying to play a game, not get hurt,
I
and get
I
ready
don't.
for the booth.
Yeah, and I don't really understand what numbers he's really trying to chase now. He
He's not
has pretty
chasing
much.
numbers. I think
He
he
has
thought.
everything. He
I
has
think
pretty much everything.
yeah. I think he thought he had it. Now he's like, I don't really want to do this, but he's not ready to give it up to Jameis yet.
Hmm.
Maybe yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him benched by like week. Not benched. I see him like he gets a bad injury. And he's like, all right, I don't want to
Yeah.
play no more. And then it'd be Jameson's by like Drew. I mean, prediction whatever. Drew Brees will give him a good record by like like 5-3.
Mm.
And he was like, all right, I'm hurt. I tore my hamstring, and it'd be Jameson,
Yeah.
smooth right into Jameson forever, and then
They
yeah,
ride him out. They
yep.
ride Jameson
I would. I mean, I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
out. We'll see. I mean, I mean, it's early in the season, so 1-2 is not. There's a lot of good 1-2 teams, and surprisingly, some good 0-3 teams. So, but I'll see what we'll see. I'm gonna say by week 6, we're gonna see what New Orleans is really about. If they're 3-3 by week 6, I say Drew Brees is probably going to stay through. But if they're 1-5 by week 6, they lose the next two. Yeah, I see James coming in because
Yeah,
I was like they're riding with him, but he's throwing. I was like the deep balls are gone. The
yeah,
deep balls are gone from him. So
yeah,
all right, the comeback special game of the week: Bears and Falcons. Nobody believe the Falcons. I don't know what's wrong with them giving up. Given the Falcons being up is like outside of last week, like being up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets. Like they cannot hold on to a lead for nothing to save their life. To see how they blew it in the fourth and being bowed down by so much, and it was like I smelled it coming. I was like, yo, especially when Nick Foles came in, which I was shocked by that, by Nick Foles coming in because I was thinking, especially because of last week what Mitchell Trubisky did last week, I thought the Bears were going to rely on him, but I heard the Bears coaches are like, yeah, it's Foles for the rest of the season. Like they're done with Mitchell. And,
and I mean, let's
mhm,
unpack all of that. Like, I know we have a thing to talk about. Like let's unpack all of that from
mhm,
like existential level. So the the Falcons are 0-3, right?
mhm.
How many years removed? And you ain't got to answer. How many years removed are we from a Matt Ryan MVP season, who is consistently putting up stupid numbers,
Numbers.
right? How and nothing has changed. They only added to that team, right? They've added Calvin Ridley. They added Todd Gurley. Like that team hasn't really changed, right? I
Mhm.
think maybe I don't know if they
Todd
lost
Gurley.
first.
Todd Gurley is
That's
a
what I say.
big
They
change.
added Todd Gurley. I think the only thing that they really lost, and if he's still on the team, yeah, Vic Beasley, they lost him, right?
Mhm.
So that team is not changed. Like, there's no reason why this team is not good, and they're still scoring. So the only thing that changed on that team is their defensive just coordination. It seems like they lost Shanahan. Cool, whatever.
Been
They lost Shanahan.
trash.
I mean, but they're not. What? Say that again.
Their defense has been
That's what I'm trying to understand. So all right,
horrible.
so like I'm looking at who's the defensive coordinator. I'm not gonna say that Raheem Morris, who's from North high school in Irvington. Not
Mhm.
saying he should
Yeah,
be
he's from
fired,
the hood.
but how do you go like you have? How do you just have these leads? So Dan Quinn shouldn't be fired. He's doing his job. However, if he should be fired because he has bad personnel on his team, then absolutely. Absolutely, and maybe he should be
Mhm.
fired. But technically, I don't think it's him. The offensive's going well. They're just making horrible play calling, or they're not really putting their foot on the metal. So this is that thing. I don't understand how you can have that many numbers and still be that bad. That's just like Arthur Blank, the owner, just got to be like confused. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like how are we this good, but we're bad in this one point? So there's that. I just want to think about that. And then,
If you could give Atlanta Washington's front four, this team will be undefeated. Like Washington gets sacks galore, but Atlanta, who's their pass rush?
but no,
Who?
it's not even. It's not.
They have
It's not
no
even
pass
matter.
rush.
It doesn't matter about that. They're losing. They're not putting their foot on the pedal to keep on scoring, and they're not stopping teams towards the end. They lose at the end of games. Like they
It's a
lose at the,
defense.
that's what I'm saying. They lose
Yeah.
at the end of games though. So it's like it's not about the
Mhm.
it's not about the oh my god. It's not about the like who they have their front seven or whatever. It's not about that. It's about the fact that they're play calling towards the end. They just don't make good decisions. They don't really adapt. That's a defensive coaching issue. That's not about a whole on who they have. That's a whole issue. So they got to look at. But
You
then you
think
got going. But then you go into the Bears, bro. Like, can you? I mean, you look at that draft class. Like that draft class. Hold on, I gotta look up Mitchell Trubisky. Like that draft class, right? They straight up picked him, the number two quarterback from in 2017. Who the heck says, yo, you know what we need? We need this quarterback from UNC. Yes, the basketball, yeah, the same school that Michael Jordan came from. I know he's a basketball player, but we need this quarterback. We need him. We need to trade up for him. And then you pass, oh my God, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. I'm just going to keep going down to quarterbacks that they pass. And it kind of gets really slim pickings after that. Oh, then you got
but
Deshaun Kaiser. Like, can
but
you?
it's
I mean,
still
I'm that.
bad. It was still bad. It's still
That's.
so bad.
I mean, well, Deshaun. I mean, it kind of gets bad after them too. But like, can you imagine having
If
to
they had
live with
Deshaun
this?
Watson,
Any,
if they
I
just
mean,
had
well,
Watson,
but to be fair, it's only those two after that.
but
It's
that's
really
still a big two. That
that
is
is a
still
scary too.
that
And then
is that could end up being their Sam Bowie.
you got Josh Dobbs, who's not bad. I mean, but can you? How do you live with yourself as an employee, as a person who's designed on drafting talent, assessing talent? That whole like what scouting team, that whole GM team, everybody get fired. That's the equivalent of I don't know, man. Like you're a surgeon, you're a heart surgeon, and you're doing a heart transplant, and you put the bad heart back in, or you pick a worse heart to put in this person. Like
Oh my god!
that's what it's like. It's like, yo, look, I gotta make this heart transplant because what we got isn't good. Let me get that heart. I think they're good. You know, I see some good things. I mean, those other two, hearts from young athletes aren't going to work who died in a car crash. But let me get that 50-year-old smoker. Let's put that in here. That 50-year-old guy who ate McDonald's every day. You know what? Let's put that heart in here. I'm pretty sure it's going to be good because he's 50. So he's lived, so he can push through. That's what they're doing. It's like, wow, I like all of you got to be fired, and
Mhm.
it's a good firing too. That's like a because companies will fire you like it's nothing. So it's like I
Yeah.
think it's one of those you get fired, you learn from it because how do you justify? Like I don't think anybody got fired. Like how do you justify passing? Yeah, Mahomes wouldn't. Yes, Mahomes and Deshaun may not have been the same there. To be fair, but like I don't even know what Mitchell Trubisky is good at, and I think he
Running,
didn't started like
running.
1 year. He didn't. I just don't. I just don't get it. Like
He got legs. He
so.
do got legs.
Yeah, but look at Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen can he played like 1 year. I'm look. He played. Yeah, he played. He played like really one decent year.
But I would tell you this: the thing about Mitch Trubisky is that he did good last week. He actually had a really good game last week, and then this week he's benched for the year. Like they said, no. They said that's it. I thought he had it. I was like, I was like, okay, give him an L maybe this week. But I was waiting for time. But they just said Nick Foles just looked more comfortable. Clearly, because obviously Nick Foles has been in the league for years. But they just said when the coach came out, just said it's Nick Foles for the rest of the year. I don't know. I don't think Mitchell Trubisky did that bad to get benched for the rest of the season. To me,
I
I
think
was
that's
like,
them.
I
They're
understand
ready.
having a bad game, but
They're ready to give him up. They're ready to give up on him.
that's
I
crazy.
mean, but look, yo, I mean, if Alex Smith can do it, I mean, I mean, I mean, Alex Smith, like, yeah, he got benched again for Colin Kaepernick, whatever. But like,
Mm.
if Alex Smith can come, I'm trying to think how many
I
quarterbacks.
thought Alex Smith got benched because of injury. I thought he was just injured and Colin just came
No,
in.
yeah, but I'm saying no, like, but then he got fully benched after that. Like,
Oh yeah,
but,
I
no,
mean,
but
Kansas
we all
City had
thought
it.
that.
Kansas City knew what they had.
But we all knew that like Alex Smith was like not great. He was a exceptional,
Yeah.
above average game manager, but he'll still put up numbers, not turn the ball over,
Hmm.
you know. But
Safe.
like,
One of the safety net quarterbacks.
but
Hmm.
outside of him, man, it's like I don't know, man. It just can't. I just couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine being a quarterback. Like I hope that he's saving his money. He's doing all these sort of things that he'll own like a couple car dealerships or whatever, or he redefines who he is. But like from a just a pure like pure standpoint, my man is just like just he was just a bad decision. Like he'd probably been good if like well actually nobody who gets picked up under Aaron Rodgers does well. But like I don't know, maybe he'd have been tag. I'm trying to think. I wish he got picked up under somebody. I wish he'd have been a backup where he could have learned. Like
Mm.
like if he was a backup to like Eli learning like just certain things from Eli or Phillip Rivers, like just certain
Yeah,
players that he
yeah. San Diego probably would have been a good fit. Well,
like he should
but
have
they
went
didn't have that
first.
draft pick. Yeah, that draft. But
He
yeah,
didn't
oh
even
yeah.
go first.
Everybody said that when that pick came, they just said everybody. I remember everybody was shocked that of all players that was Mitchell Trubisky. I remember that. That was clear as day.
I'll
That
never
was.
forget watching
Mhm.
what's his name? John Gruden. John Gruden had like a episode, the quarterback camps or
You
whatever,
can't. Yeah.
which was great. And I remember he said coming out of that draft, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is number one. I was like, who's Patrick Mahomes? Whatever, cool. He has a losing season. His team is trash.
Mhm.
Whatever. But he was good.
But you could tell by the skill set that he can work. And the same thing to me. I'm gonna move it over to what happened with the Buffalo and the Rams game. To me, look, Josh Allen is doing more than I expected. Because honestly, to me, Josh Allen is not really that good of a quarterback. He's getting touchdowns. He runs like crazy, but I don't trust his arm. But somehow, some way, he gets it done. But I think the big thing about this game, I probably the biggest controversy on it was the last play of the game where there was offensive pass interference on the Rams that cost them the game, and everybody was like, the ref should have held their whistle. And I feel that when it comes to pass interference, we give it to the defense all the time, but when it's offense, I think that's when more people complain. I think more people are complaining because it was an offensive pass interference instead of because I think when if it was a defense pass interference, everybody would have been fine. Yeah, both
Mhm.
players were holding each other, but when they call that offensive, everybody gets heated because I think people hate pass interference, one, but people really hate offensive pass interference. And for that to be cost you the game, that was crazy. That was crazy. I think the Rams won. They had a chance to go for a field goal. They should have just went for a field goal and tied the game and taken it to overtime. But they
Is
cost
it?
them.
I don't hate many teams, but I don't like the Rams. I don't like the Rams. I don't like the Rams because everybody that's there, which is kind of no, not every. I don't know who else is there. Actually,
Aaron
it's probably
Donald. Well, everybody knows Aaron Donald.
I ain't got nothing against him.
Oh, this guy's gone. Well, Ramsey's there.
I don't. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, good. I don't really care for him. I don't like braggadocious players. Actually, no.
Um,
For some reason, I don't know. I thought they had another. Whatever. I think it's just him.
I forgot his name. The kid who used to be for the Detroit Lions. He used to be there from Nebraska, but I guess he's not there the season
Yeah,
or
I
he's
don't know
injured.
where
And
Dominican
Dominican
Thomas
too.
is. I don't know
I
where
know
he.
last time I remember him was on the Rams. I don't know if he's injured or anything, but I gotta check him
I
out.
swear, Google is no one listening to me because every time I say a name, I type like two letters and don't say the name. He's on the Bucks.
Oh, he's oh he's starting then.
He's been there for a couple years now. So all right, good for
Really?
him.
I don't remember
Yeah,
him.
like two
I
years.
remember.
He joined in 2019. I do remember that because
Oh, last year. Okay.
they lost Gerald McCoy.
Hmm.
And so they kind of need somebody who, wow, yeah, Google's listening. And then, yeah, he's there now. And funny story about Jerry McCoy. He was supposed to go with the Cowboys, but then, I think he failed his, yeah, he ruptured his quad in practice. Oh,
Yes,
that just
yeah.
sounds so painful.
Mhm.
And he was released. Ugh, that sucks.
I felt so bad at the end of the game because I was shocked at the call that was offensive because I was like either one of them could have pulled it. But that was a good game. I was the running back the running backs were out there just putting in numbers. And you know who's really catching me my eye? I forgot all about him. Cole Beasley.
I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't listen. I can't. Anytime you say somebody says Kobe, I just stop listening.
No,
Like,
stop it. He was catching. Cole Beasley is this close from being a New England Patriots wide receiver. Watch him in the future. He will be a Patriots wide receiver.
wait.
He has all the
Okay.
skill set for to be a Patriot. He is going to be. He's going to take over when they get rid of Edelman. They're just going to roll. He fits everything they want. He's going to fit that lane
Okay.
from Wes Walker to Amendola to Edelman. It'll be Cole Beasley. Okay, tag that. We'll tag that. I'm calling that out now. So
Oh, offset. All right. All right. Here's. I do appreciate Cole Beasley. You know who I'm thinking about? Oh man, this is. I'm just like all white receivers. They're all like kind of the same.
mm,
I'm thinking about Riley Cooper. I really thought that Cole Beasley was Riley Cooper. I
no,
was like, wait, what's Cole Beasley? I'm like, the dude that was like at the concert saying N word.
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no, no.
that's Riley
Yeah,
Cooper.
that's Riley Cooper. No, Cole Beasley. He used to be with the Cowboys, and
Oh
but
yeah, I
now
remember
he,
that. I
yeah.
just forgot. I was like, wait, but I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
you
now
can
I'm
feel.
like, wait, wasn't Cole Beasley on the Eagles? It's like, nah. And I had to look it up and okay, it's all good.
So now he'll be. Speaking of the Patriots, so we'll talk about the fake Patriots. Um, so Tampa Bay put in work this week. Tom Brady was connecting the Gronk, connecting, putting in his numbers. He had 3 touchdowns, no ints, 297. He was airing the ball. He was doing respectable numbers. I was happy to see him do his thing. Michael Evans had like 2 1-yard touchdowns, which was great on your fantasy team, but on his numbers, that was nothing. He had 2 1-yard catches, and they felt like alley oops. Like it was like he could have just went like this and threw it to him. So, but people are thinking, well, now Brady's back. He's filling the receivers now. I think he had the talent. He had the skill. I wish they would have had a better quarterback, honestly, in Tampa Bay, because I just still think that Tom age is going to get him. But he was airing it out. He did his numbers this week, so I was happy for him on that end. Um, Gronk got Gronk had 6 catches, but it wasn't the Gronk game. Like no bulldozing everybody over. It was like catch and drop. I don't know if he's back like that, but he did his numbers. So I was like, fake Patriots at least got the win. They got another win. So
I don't
I don't
think
know
they
if they,
care. I don't think he cares. It's like, yo, just
yeah.
let me get the numbers as I want
Mm,
to get them. So I don't think he cares like, at all.
I don't know. Right now, they're the best in the NFC South,
That
but
don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing really. Like
yeah,
I'm sorry, like like in the Sea South like that, whatever.
yeah. So right, I mean, until the Saints do something, because it looks like, and Atlanta somehow, some way can't do nothing correct. So it's theirs to lose. It looks like it looks like
Oh
it's
yeah,
Tampa Bay's
it's
to
there.
lose.
It's definitely them. Between like every other team is trash in that conference. Like okay, so you got the Saints. Unfortunately, it just feels sad. It feels wrong to say the Saints are trash. Carolina is trash. Um,
Atlanta is really bad. Atlanta can't do nothing. Atlanta can't get right.
I mean the NFC South. No, wait, the NFC South is going to be the NFC East of like the new NFC East. Like whoever gets above 500 is going to make it to
Yeah,
playoff. So
yeah.
that's all.
Mhm. So, so I wanted to get that out of the way. So let me ask you about this. This was 2 good games. I want to talk to you about Alvin Kamara and Dalvin Cook, because running backs to me are kind of like falling a position that's quietly falling off. But it was great to see 2 really good wide receivers put in numbers. But Alvin Kamara, the reason everybody's upset about Drew Brees doing all these checkdowns is because Alvin Kamara on the air attack, that dude shakes everybody around. He can't be touched. And Dalvin Cook was out there putting in work. He was messing everybody up in that
I think
Minnesota game.
so. Alvin Kamara total, if I do the numbers right, 190.
total
7
yards.
total scrimmage yards,
Mm.
2 touchdowns, and then Dalvin Cook had stupid numbers too. Dalvin Cook was like 187 or something, 178, something stupid. I mean, so you're gonna ask me who's like the hottest?
Yeah,
I can't.
who's the hottest running back right now?
Derrick Henry.
Not I was actually ashamed. Derrick Henry, those was his first touchdowns of the season.
Yeah, no, you know, Dalvin Cook wasn't doing it like every day, every game though. So like, I can't.
Mm,
Nobody is. Nobody. Even if you're looking at you know, what's his name? So Dalvin Cook wasn't doing it like that. It's the first season. I mean,
mm,
first game in a while. I mean, after COVID, like, and if you look at Alvin Kamara's numbers, he's kind of just getting started too, but he's
mm.
been decent. I would say Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
He's not. He hasn't had really injuries like that.
Mm.
You know, I'm gonna give it to Kamara for now. To be
Alvin
honest.
Kamara is what I want the Giants to do with Saquon with Barkley. He is. They need. What I see the Saints doing is they're using him more as a pass back instead of just giving him. Even though when you hand him the ball, he's doing the same stuff. He's shaking people down. He is not. You cannot get him on the first tackle. He's going. He shakes almost every first tackle down. It's getting ridiculous. He's he feels like a Madden shakedown play. Like every time he's got to shake somebody off, and then he does numbers. It looked like every catch he did, he made something out of nothing every time. A lot of
Oh,
Drew Brees' numbers was based off of Alvin Kamara's moving.
that was
Dalvin
just
Cook was just messing everybody up. Right now, to me, they're the hottest two running backs in the game. Until Derrick Henry starts Derrick Henry, I need another game from him. He needs to start because I mean, to me, I felt hurt if you have him on your fantasy team and to say Derrick Henry now has third game in the season to now have some touchdowns. That hurt. That hurt. He should not be that running back to now get some touchdowns. But we'll see how it goes further. But right now, I think the hottest running back in the game right now is Kamara, but Cook is right underneath him in my opinion.
I don't know when you brought up Saquon, like that, I think Saquon was like one of the dumbest draft picks.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
what happened. No, he was a great draft pick. I think the Giants just didn't know what the Giants honestly just don't know how to use him right. And
No, they're using him exactly as is. I just don't think it was a good pickup. I think it was
I
dumb.
just think the Giants needed to work on defense so much more than offense, but you could have let a player like Saquon go away. It was just felt crazy because to me, I wish they would have got. There was a kid, Bush, that was in Pittsburgh, that went to Pittsburgh, that they could have drafted, but they didn't, and I was like, oh, I think
No,
they
I
picked.
mean no.
I
So
think no. I'm sorry, that was the year they got Jones,
no. So
but
check this out. So
Saquon,
they needed they needed defense and they needed an offensive line. So let's say they traded away Saquon and they'd have gotten like at least two first rounders, or they would have got the first round that season, and they could have fleeced somebody. And I'm
yeah,
like, all right, so let's say they don't get Saquon and they get the first offensive lineman, right? And some teams got some good offensive line. And then and then let's say they want to get a running back later in the draft, in that first round, they could have got who is also still really good, Rashad Penny,
it's
Sony
something.
Michelle, or Nick Chubb. They could have pushed and said, "Yo, we're gonna get
Yeah.
Sony Michelle." Like, I nah, B.
Now Sonny Michelle's beast because he was beast in Sunday. I
Nah,
was still
man.
Saquon is still a better running back. It's just on the
They don't
Giants.
need. He's a workhorse. They don't need
Yeah.
that. They didn't need that at all.
And the
They could
work
have got another receiver.
to
They.
me, they need to use him.
I can't hear you right now. I don't know what happened. Nope. I'm like it's me, and like I can hear me. Obviously. There you go.
Hold on. All right. So we say is that's the biggest issue with the Giants. All
I
right,
see you.
that's
I see you, man. I'm sorry. I just I have feelings towards them. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so. All right, let's get down to the next thing on the rundown. I think I
Oh
had
my
was
God. Herbert versus Burrow.
yeah, the
Burrow.
quarter.
Yeah, no, come on,
Bro.
man. Burrow's a better quarterback. That's it. Whatever. We done. No, he
He
is
wasn't playing
good.
for Herbert. Herbert
No.
was doing his numbers, man.
Yeah,
The-
but nah.
I Oh
But
man, the Chargers had him at the end, man. All right, so the last play of the game, the Chargers tried to do a loop, pass the running back, and it was supposed to loop back to the running back, and he had an easy lane to the end zone, but they flipped. he dropped it, so it cost him the game because Herbert had that one right there. So I've been impressed by San Diego's quarterback Herbert. He's been doing all right.
Oh, he
He's
ain't
doing all right.
bad.
He's
He
pretty
ain't no,
good.
he's not bad at all. But I mean, Burrow has more talent around him, right? Like Burrow has
And
boy.
they're 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but like, I mean, but there's still he still has to figure out how to win. Their defense isn't really good.
Yeah, the defense is trash.
San Diego has a decent defense. They have decent. They have two good wide receivers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, who is a little diva esque. But but he's, let me not say anything. If he ever listens to this, he is the type to like get in his feelings and say something
Mhm.
about you. But he is a little bit diva esque. Aside from Mike Williams, they don't really have much of a running game, so it is all about airing it out.
Bernard,
Huh?
Bernard, yes, I think he's still there,
Who?
right?
Who?
Carolina. I mean, what's his name?
And Chargers, you mean?
No, for
Chargers ain't
Cincinnati.
got a running game. No, I'm sorry. No, no, no. I'm talking about neither of them really. No, no, no. The Bengals don't have a running game, but they should have a running game because they had Genevio Bernard and Joe
Joe
Mixon.
Mixon. Yeah.
No, they're fine, but they're not really running.
Mhm.
The team that doesn't really have a running game to me is the Chargers because it's like they
Mhm.
got that guy. I mean, you let go Melvin Gordon for Austin Keller. He's doing okay.
He's hanging in. He's doing okay. I gotta get.
Everything feels like he's just hanging about his seat. Like, oh, I'm trying, man. That's
Yeah.
every game. He's like, I'm trying.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying
Yeah,
my best.
I'm not great, but I'm gonna try.
And I think that's why San Diego is just going air out. And I think they're just airing it out. But I do say if San Diego keeps this up, I do see Herbert. Herbert could have a really arguable, really good rookie year. Because I think they're putting their trust in him. They're putting
Yeah,
their
I think
trust in
so.
him.
Again,
And
this
I
is like
think
last
and I
baptism.
think and I think was their starter quarterback who was their starter quarterback at the start of the season? The kid
For
who
who?
got
Oh,
San Diego.
Tyrod Taylor. Oh,
Tyler.
Taylor.
I think he's going to sue the team. I think he's done in the NFL.
I would sue the team. I mean,
Yeah.
or at least the team doctor. I mean, how does? I mean, stuff like that can happen, but he's just had so many bad breaks, and I just feel for the guy so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, I think he's suing the team and he's going to own the Chargers by the end. By the this is over. He's going to have a really great lawsuit. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy. So I had one last note was the surprise game of the week, which is a surprise game that you probably didn't pay attention to, but it was actually really good, which was the Detroit Lions and the Cardinals, which was which was a shock because I thought the Cardinals was going to smoke them. I thought the
Mm,
Cardinals were going to smoke them, but Kyler Murray, I think, finally had the game that we expect somebody like Kyler Murray to have. A lot of turnovers, 3 interceptions. I think he may have even had a fumble or something. But
I'm looking it up. I'm looking at his stats now. Yeah, 3 interceptions, 1 sack. Ugh.
yeah, he was getting sacked. He was not. I expected him to do a lot more. I thought he was going to run the Lions out of the building,
I would
but
assume.
I was actually disappointed. I will say that he is using Hopkins. I see such a big difference when losing Hopkins and Arizona having him. He's been a really good a pickup over there because they using him like crazy.
I'm not a
And
fan of Kyler Murray.
Ilza, Isabella, well at least this was a good fantasy game for him. If you had Isabella, your fantasy points was on point. He had like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but he only had 47 yards. Ain't nobody.
Yeah, no, but
We should spend
you
more
know
time
your
talking.
fantasy.
We should spend much more time talking about fantasy football, bro. Ain't nobody care about Isabella. Like
Yeah.
Isabella ain't. Kyler Murray, I think is good, but I don't know. I
This
think
yeah, this game shocked me because he hasn't really had a game like this. So to me, this was the surprise. Like, whoa, he had a game like this, and especially against Detroit, because Detroit, to me, on paper, Detroit had no business winning this game. It was a tight game. It was a tight battle. Matt Stafford finally did Matt Stafford things. Was doing Matt Stafford thing, and I was happy to see them really use Peterson back heavy on the run game.
I think
Like they
you're.
ran him a bunch.
I
They ran him
think
a bunch of times.
you giving Kyler Murray a little more credit than I think he deserves. Yes, he's getting touchdowns, but he's getting a pick every game, and he's getting sacked every game a couple times
Yeah,
too. I
he's
mean,
supposed to be the next. He's supposed to be the next Russell.
why? Why is it? Because he mixed. Look, all right. Listen,
Because he
man.
height wise, skill wise, man. And Russell ain't mixed.
He isn't. Yes, he is.
No,
And you know
no,
what? I
no,
don't care. I don't care.
no,
Nope. Don't care.
no.
Don't care. Don't care.
Yeah,
Don't care. He is though, but whatever.
no. He's black and black.
No. All right. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. Go keep on
Okay.
talking. I'm gonna do some research on Russell Westbrook right now.
All right. So it was good to see
Explosive.
Lions do surprisingly pull this one off, and Galladay was a surprise pick on that game because he caught some good catches on some good third downs. I was shocked by, but I don't expect much from Detroit. I think this was a surprise win. I do think Detroit is going to have a bad season, but I expect Arizona. They better learn from this. They better learn from this because I don't. Murray can't throw games like that. There are too many weak interceptions, too many bad passes. I was really shocked. I was really shocked by this.
Mm,
So,
I'm not.
but
And
that
I'm
was a
looking
good
at.
game.
And so oddly enough, I'm looking at him now. I was like, oh, okay, wow, he's all right. I'm still surprised, but all right.
So, all right. So we'll end of all that. I wanted to talk about the NBA Finals. So, the Heat have pulled it off. They've done it. They've done it. The Miami Heat have finally made it back to the NBA Finals without the first NBA Finals without Dwayne Wade. So I think it's pretty much the majority of everybody I see has the Heat have the Lakers in five. Most people say the Lakers are in five.
I give it Lakers in six.
You think Lakers in six?
I,
I'm actually pulling a surprise on this. And yes, it might be some Heat homerism in this. I'm pulling a Heat in the upset in six because my thing is that I don't think the Lakers are going to defend the 3-point line like that. I don't think they're going to defend them well, and they're going to be in for a rude awakening on how much Miami shoots threes well. Because I don't think Denver, Denver, and also what I'd also expect was I was telling somebody that he didn't listen to me, but I was telling that with the teams that the Lakers have played, they've all played teams with a dominant ball handler on their team. Miami doesn't have that. Like to say Dame is going to be is a dominant ball handler. Harden and Westbrook dominant ball handlers. It was between them two. They handled the ball. Murray handled the ball all game long. So until you throw the Joker and he'll try to do something, but heavy ball handler. So if LeBron just pretty much dominated and just stayed on that point guard, they could just mess the game up for them. But the Heat don't run that way. The Heat they move the ball around a lot. They'll flip. Bam, Bam could really kind of quietly runs point at times too, and
bro,
Dragic
but
and
I
Jimmy, and I think that's going to be a lot. They're going to find themselves. They're going to find themselves chasing a lot, and they're not going to have fun doing that.
mm,
And I don't, and I also say when I think LeBron James has been in 10 finals, I think he's only been favored in three or two. It was something ridiculous. Like most of the times he's in the finals, he's been an underdog. His teams are actually underdogs. Um, I think it was only three. I think it was the Dallas one, Dallas and Miami. He was a favorite against OKC, and I think the first run against the Warriors when Kyrie and Kevin got hurt. But I don't. I could see Miami pulling. Yes, I could. On paper, should expect the Lakers to do this, but I think when I see the way they play, I can see a lot of. I see a lot of weak points that the Lakers have that Miami should be taking care of.
but they got LeBron. I get you. Like, I mean, I'm looking at team for team, right? So, okay. I mean, really quick, let's do
And I
this.
gotta see how they're going to start. How Lakers are going to start. If the Lakers go small ball, if they run AD as a center, LeBron, um, whoever they bring, I forgot who's the other small forward they have, Kyle Kuzma, and run like that set, or they start a Rondo. I don't think that's a good look. I think if the Lakers run heavy, I think Lakers should start Dwight, AD, and LeBron, and
The Heat are,
KCP. And if
bro.
they run that, they have a chance. They
The
have a
Heat is
stronger
a
chance.
really small team. So you're right. If they run big,
If they run big, the biggest problem is that because of Bam and quiet as cap, Bam is actually pretty much the same size as LeBron. People really don't even notice that they're around the same height and weight. So he could. I would like to. I want to see how he does with AD because I think he's faster than AD, but AD's fast enough. If they put, I think he'll run Howard
AD's a
out the.
better. AD's a better as a more skilled player, more skilled player. Bam's
He's a better shooter, but Bam has a better handle. Bam is actually a better.
I don't know,
He
man.
brings the
Bam.
ball up. He actually brings the ball up.
Yeah, he brings the ball up, but he doesn't cross anybody. He doesn't do anything that's elaborate. He just clearly brings a ball. He's 23 years old. He's still figuring out his body. Like I mean,
Hmm.
as corny as I hate that phrase,
Hmm.
but like, okay, okay, all right. Let's do this. Let's do this. And who's gonna and just give me one for one. We're not talking about schemes. We're not talking about passing, right? Because we can get into the minutia of that. But I'm talking about who's the starting team? I'm just gonna start with I'm gonna do the starting squad. Point guard, all right. Goran. Who Goran to Rajan? Who would win? One on one.
Well, Raja's not starting.
You still
We'll
can't.
see if
All
they
right.
start. It's
Who's the
KCP.
starter?
It's
No, no. I'm talking
KCP.
about point guard. Starting point guard.
They start KCP.
All right. Let me do this.
They
I'm gonna do
start.
this.
All right. The Lakers starting five right now has been
No, I got
um,
you. Let me just do this. I'm gonna
because
go
they.
to the last.
It's been strange because they alternate. Like they'll start their big lineup is Dwight Howard, AD, LeBron, KCP, and Danny Green.
So that's what I'm
Or
saying.
they'll flip it and they'll start Rondo, Danny Green,
All right.
LeBron, AD, and either JaVale McGee or something. But they don't really play long. Like JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard really don't play much minutes.
So
So
I'm gonna look at the last starting five of the Denver Lakers game, right?
mm.
Okay, okay, okay. Actually, no. I'm gonna put the last starting five of the Heat game since that's more
Oh yeah,
recent.
they're pretty consistent. Is
All right. So Goran Dragic or KCP, who you putting?
I'm taking Goran Dragic on that one.
Absolutely. Jay Crowder or Jay Crowder's playing at two.
No, he's playing the
Um,
forward. He's playing the small. He's playing the power
yeah,
forward
he
actually.
really shouldn't.
No,
Oh man.
and that's because they use him as a cheat code because all he does is shoot threes.
All right. Okay. Okay. You know. All right. Like, so just really one for one. I'm gonna say you gonna tell me who's gonna win between this person, this person. Um,
So you got Danny Green and
Tyler Hero.
is a
Tyler
bench. He
Hero.
comes off the bench.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So like their starting five is really weird. Jimmy Butler, LeBron,
Yeah, that's LeBron.
Bam, AD.
I'll give that to AD. I'll give that to AD.
Mm. Okay.
I'll give it
Now
to
let's look at
AD.
the other players. So you just got two. All right. Point guard. I don't know who their point guard is, but let's say if it was Goran Dragic or Rondo, who you picking?
I'm taking Goran Dragic on that one.
All
You
right.
really
Who's
think
their
so?
other?
And
Jay
then you got
Crowder.
and
Jay
then you got
Crowder.
Duncan Robinson, and Danny
He's
Green.
coming off the bench though.
No, Danny Green and Duncan is the starter.
All right, Duncan or Danny Green?
That could be a toss up because they pretty much play almost exactly the same way.
Yeah, they really do.
They pretty much
Okay.
play a toss up. But and what kills that is that it feels like with the Heat, if Duncan's having a bad game, Tyler has a good game. If Duncan has the good game, Tyler has the bad game. So they interchange with that too. The bigger now who they play with Jay
Oh
Crowder
wait,
could be
wait. Let's not forget like Markeith Morris coming in and just shut down
yeah.
people. Like
Marcus
he
Smart, yeah,
will.
he's going to be good, but they're going to probably try to throw him on Jay Crowder, and Jay Crowder is strange because like again he's been on like him and Duncan Robinson been on this just all I do is shoot threes, like I'm just going to stay out here and just shoot threes, and they leave all the rebound in the Bam, they leave all the rebounds to Bam,
See,
and
the funny thing is, I think. See, the thing is, the Heat don't have another person who can really rebound. Kelly Olynyk and Myers Leonard like to be on the outside. Kelly is more of a mid post,
mm,
but Miles Leonard
and he
is
doesn't
more
play
on
enough
the outside.
minutes.
Yeah, but then you have JaVale McGee and or Dwight Howard coming in.
Hmm.
Like then they're gonna eat up all the rebounds in that point.
That's if, and my word, my thing is that remember what I was telling you about Houston is that Houston plays a small ball game, but the biggest problem is that they didn't have people who could shoot the outside. They really didn't have a consistent makers. The Heat have makers. Like Duncan can make shots, Goran can make shots. Jay Crowder has shown that he can make shots. Tyler Hero comes off the bench and makes shots. So that could be the Heat's big, big secret. If they could get an outside shooting game and they're making it, the Lakers are in for a long night and they're not going to be happy. My thing is that I think the Lakers are going to pull the same stunt that they've been doing. Probably let Miami win the game one and just fill them out and then just figure out what they need to do. But on paper, this should clearly be a Lakers win. This should clearly be a Lakers win. I think on paper, clearly you think that, but I just got to see because I think that if the Heat run the fast game, if they try to run the fast game, I think the Lakers will be in for a rude awakening. If they try to be the fast and just pitch out game, the Lakers are not going to be happy. That's going to take out Dwight. That's going to take Dwight out or JaVale McGee out because they're not going. They're going to be like everybody's on the outside. They're just using him to just be. He's going to be out the way, especially JaVale McGee. So
Yeah.
that's the Heat. I think that's what the Heat will probably run with because I don't think Leonard or Kyle Leonard are going to get much minutes or or Silver really doesn't play much, and he plays pretty much close to Bam, which is just a lot of lobs. So, but I do say that Bam. I gotta see how the Lakers defend how they play Bam, because Bam has pretty much been like how Houston used to use Clint Capella, which is a lot of lobs, a lot of rebound putbacks and stuff. The Heat should just run, and they just Bam brings the ball up and then he sets up to get a lob or a mid-range shot, a quick mid-range shot. It's nothing major. But we'll see if Davis's length should give a problem like that. But I think Bam's still going to get his lobs. I think Bam's still going to get his lobs on there. So like I said, on paper, I'm gonna be, honest opinion is that the Lakers should win this. I'm gonna say in six on paper, but we gotta see if the Lakers, if Miami doesn't pull a surprise. If Miami doesn't pull a surprise, we get Tyler Hero. If Tyler Hero, Duncan, Jay Crowder, and Goran get a good game, they're definitely winning.
Yeah,
They're definitely,
I look forward to
which can
seeing.
happen.
I am very curious, very, 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 very
Mm,
curious about how this might go. Really curious, but I mean, just the fact that like LeBron against his old team, I mean,
mm,
like that's pretty great.
mm.
I hope he retires after this, so that
Now I think he has two. I think he got 2 more years.
yeah,
I
he's
think.
gonna get it. He's gonna get his he's gonna get the most points. He only needs to average like maybe 20. So
That's if we have a full season. I think he just wants that 10,000 rebounds and 10,000 assists too.
he's gonna get the most points though if he really wanted to do it. Like
Yeah.
right now, he'll
If we
get it.
get if if the NBA has a full season, we need another full 82 season. But I think at this point he'll look to get the 10,000 rebounds and 10,000 assists.
True, true.
I think that'll be it for him. But
Yeah.
yeah, so called surprise. Uh, Dion Waiters gets an MVP, gets a ring no matter what team wins.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I didn't
if you
really
if
care. I think
because
I
if
heard that.
you get a ring for with the game because you're a part of the season of the season includes the ring. So whether Miami or the Lakers win, he still gets a ring because he was part of the Heat team.
But doesn't it matter how long you played for the team though?
Nope. As long as you're on the team on the roster, you get you're honored the ring. It's his choice to decline it though. He could decline it, but he could get a ring.
Yeah,
So
good for him.
so anyway, oh, I wanted to shout out. I know nobody really pays attention. A lot of people don't pay attention to it, but I saw, this is you don't have to say anything. I saw Brianna Stewart in Seattle versus the Minnesota Lynx game. That girl, Brianna Stewart, is no joke. I was like, whoa, man, she's a problem. She's a problem.
I appreciate the WNBA. It doesn't get enough burn. It may never get enough credit or respect, and I know why. But I like watching it. Sometimes when it came down to like desperation, and there was nothing on. I was like, all right, I'll definitely start watching it. And I started to appreciate a lot of the players. Like
Mm,
a lot of them are really good. I mean,
mm,
some of my favorite players from college when I played in school
mm.
were girls. So
Yeah, yeah.
they're I wish more. I wish more like women played ball. I mean, I wish there wasn't this whole stigma of like masculinity that has to be a part of it. Like you have to be this to play ball because it's like doesn't have
Mm,
to be the case. But yeah, it's they should get more money. They
mm.
should get definitely more play. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just
I
some.
was I was watching the game. Yeah, I've just watched. I like this. I always watch the Lynx because they've all for like the past couple of years they've been a dominant team. Obviously, everybody knows Maya Moore and all that, but my player right now I've been watching them is Odyssey Sims because her handle is ridiculous. But so I was watching them and I was like really looking forward to Lynx putting in work, and then I just saw I was like, ooh. I was like, this girl, Brianna Stewart, is killing them. I said, this girl's killing them. This woman she was killing them. So I had to give her a shout out on that. So I wanted to close off on that point. So everybody enjoy next week. Enjoy the game tonight. It's Baltimore and KC. So that's why they had to put that game on a Monday night. They definitely needed that for the Monday night game. So that's probably we'll talk about that next week to see what Kansas City and what Baltimore does on this. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Again, hit us. Our social medias will be on the link on below and on our YouTube page. So follow us. Follow us. We got shirts. We got shirts for sale. So check get any merchandise you can get. So thank you for following the podcast and everybody enjoy. Have a great week.
Peace out.
Peace.